We are the incomplete race, nature gone wrong, the life form of an intelligent and orderly universe which has degraded itself to a life of total unintelligence and disorder in mankind, which is to look carefully at yourself. Look at what we are. Our order is complete disorder. Look no further than the Great Reset to understand what constitutes order for this maimed and broken species born from complete, holistically loving intelligence. Millions of years of evolution to come to this, a Great Reset. And what is a Great Reset? A Great Reset is the pipe dream of a few of us living extraordinarily opulent, powerful, and disordered lives, enforcing their projected thinking of what an ideal world might look like onto the lives of billions of us. This is what we call order. It truly is. Our world is upside down, back to front, and inside out, all at the very same time. This order is a disorder. There is nothing orderly about an enforced authoritarian insistence that we all abandon our own understanding and pursuits in this world in favour of what someone else thinks. Our order is the order of an enforced authority in every field of our lives. Teachers, doctors, lawyers, priests, bankers, CEOs, politicians, royalty, and every other meaningless imposition on the otherwise free lives of free-born men of humanity. It seems we are no longer permitted what to think or how to act for our own health concerns, and even down to what we may eat. Someone, somewhere, knows better than we do. This is not order. This is insanity. Why do we live insanely? Measurement has input here into our collective agreement to live insanely, to permit a few to live as kings, as royalty, to permit a few to earn billions in a day as many others lose their jobs, their relationships, their homes, and even their lives. We live from the highest to the lowest, measuring our worth in numbers we print from thin air, from your highness all the way down to many lownesses, to permit a few men with insatiable appetites for more is a number never reached, to corrupt governments and to shape a world out of their own limited imagination and childish school classroom pursuits of desiring to sit in a higher social position over the lives of many others. For the majority of humanity today, the planet we have born onto does not seem capable to adequately support our lives. And this is because of the activity of some of our lives, born from our thinking. Is this not insane? Why are we living like this? Why do we pretend an authority is an order to our lives, when in truth, at best, it is an unrequested conformity, and at worst, a painful eternal kick in the teeth? Why do we construct a society which allows rich and influential other men to so abuse the lives of so many others so easily? And why do these men have 1 centimetre of desire to wish to do so? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with humanity? Certain of these influential men recently sought to convince the whole planet to take an experimental medication to combat an illness which turned out to be not very harmful at all, with an emergency authorised mandate. The results of taking this remain completely untested and unknown. Insane. We are a lost race because we follow authority, because we are led by people who are lost themselves in their lives as we are, and self-seeking to become as we are. We are led by people who have no understanding of human consciousness, as we have no understanding of human consciousness. Human consciousness, which is thinking, is the root activity preceding every physical action. Therefore, human consciousness is responsible for all our social relationships, or in this world, for the absolute lack of them. We seem to prefer domination and power over the lives of others than we do a loving, caring and sharing approach to life. We are a violent, disturbed and brutal tribal race of people. We are humanity. We are the incomplete. This nonsense of a great reset, this royal decreed military-style operation on a warlike footing, disrupting and destroying the lives of so many innocent people, has been a movement given birth in limited and therefore ignorant human consciousness. That which is limited brings conflict to life, and knowledge, what we know, which is the movement of our thinking, which arises in the consciousness of all human memory, is ever limited. Thought is limited because thought arises in us from the limited recorded knowledge we have stored in the brain cells, arising from our limited life experiences. We cannot possibly experience everything in life. Indeed, what we do experience is a mere fraction of a fraction of what may be experienced. And so actions taken on the educated foundation of thinking move hand in hand simultaneously with a monumentally comparative overshadowing of almost absolute and complete ignorance. When we act in ignorance, we bring chaos and havoc to our world, as the World Economic Forum and its royal, corporate and political supporters are bringing to our world today. Havoc, chaos. These forever follow conceptual action in time to seek to make anything better. These people have no understanding of anything out with their own highly privileged spheres of life, and so these people act in a manner guaranteed to hurt others who lie outside of their potential psychological considerations. But we all act this way if our actions are arising from an inner movement of thought, and we act this way in ignorance, and so in conflict causing darkness, because our actions arise from the limited area of knowledge and the movement of inner thought. Why are we always seeking to make things better, build back better? For what? An idea? It is an idea. It always is an idea, a thought, a limited piece of information hiding in the shadows of a huge ignorance of that which thought has no capacity to understand by virtue of never having lived through comprehensive experience, and a massive ignorance in pursuing such insanity, such pursuits which have been attempted countless times previously in the eternally bloodied history of mankind, which have never ended well. And here we go again. For caught in the pattern of thought, as we all are, we are ever doomed to repeat our pasts. Thought is memory, and when we continually act on what we know, we never manage to bring any new quality to our lives. It is quite impossible to expect to find a new quality to society when the old of memory, of thinking, is what is behind the planning of the new. But here we go again, for these people have the power, and we are those brainwashed to follow authority. 12 years sitting in front of a class teacher sufficed to condition us to such psychological inward slavery. My concerns are how we survive ourselves as a race. That is all. I am seeking nothing other than an investigation into any potential we may hold to move always from our collective insanity. I have no interest in half-baked ideas from the minds of sycophantic Marxists or climate change enthusiasts, or people wishing to be kings of the world and have their boots licked by the entirety of humanity forever. I am interested in the freeing of the human mind. I am interested in true change, in the death of what came before, not the continuity and emboldening of it. For without a death, without an ending, where has there ever been any change at all? Ideas founded from thought carry the same limitations as the knowledge-based thinking responsible for their generation, just as pointless to follow, just as injurious for the lives of all of humanity. Why are we always becoming? I can tell you, but telling you is not the same as you finding out for yourself. Why are we always becoming? Why are we always involved in progress? And why do we all live with our own divisive ideas of what progress means? Why do we ever find the resolution to relationship difficulties in aggression, violence, and war? Have you noticed our authorities are always involved in ever seeking more, in building back better, in making great again? And strangely enough, we always end up with less and less, and worse and worse. They end up with more, which is never enough, for more is a destination never reached. But why do we seek at all? Why are we never content with what we have? Why are we always travelling on a road of named progress which offers no final destination, no arrival point, no completion, and so no rest? Thought is the answer to it all. Thought is incomplete based on knowledge, based on experiences. Thought can never be complete. And as thought is the programmed, brainwashed foundation to every action we take in life, we are caught forever on a permanent loop of past recorded experiences, modified and continuing endlessly into the future, perverting our relationship this moment to this present moment, which is where all relationship, love, life, death, and beauty exists, seeking greater completion, which of course never arrives, for completion is ever only found now. Distorting our present actions, following modified past experiences. If thought is never complete, and the ground of our being is lived as thought, as it is this day, then our lives can never meet any completion. Completion is alien to thinking, for thinking is knowledge, and knowledge can never be complete. There is always more to know. And yet thought seeks completion in time. It seeks to add to itself, seeking a movement towards greater completion. Although the greater it seeks is built upon previously recorded limitations, and so is confined to a very narrow groove of life. Our becoming is a repetitive growth of what we have always been, and so we never change. That which needs to change is involved in a continuous action of trying to change. We become chained in life to constantly, never-endingly repeating the past. We met Marxism previously, several times, but not yet globally. At least here, there is a sparkle of the new. And this curse is arising again today in our top-heavy, greedy and power-hungry technocratic oligarchical world. The words sound lovely. Building a better world. Well, we are a part of this world, and I am certain not many of us at all have felt a breath of betterment on our faces since this fiasco began. Many have felt pepper spray and tear gas, yet betterment remains obscure and elusive. This is the order of enforcement, and this order is complete and total disorder. And there is reason why. And the reason is there transparently to be seen in the observable truths of the programmed operations of our inner psychological, automatic, scholastically brainwashed natures. Our thoughts are what tear us apart, because our thoughts are hungry for a completion they can never have, and so they always seek more, forever adding to themselves, and the more they seek is limited to the direction thought can travel, and thought can only travel in the direction it has previously pursued. We have a world and billions of lives to remove from the ever-present life slavery mankind has ever lived under. From the days of Roman emperors to this. When we live under an authority, our freedom has died, and freedom is essential to live, essential to appreciate relationship, love, and beauty in life, and to understand death, and so our lives have become mechanical and dead inside, a fearful affair, ever seeking pleasure as a distraction, a tragedy no less. We simply must find the courage to awaken our own intelligence and to remove ourselves from under the dark-shadowed wings of all authority, or we shall not persist. And there is an authority you're likely not even aware of, which impacts your life greatly, more than most. This authority does greater damage to your heart and mind than any arrogantly power-seeking, limited and ignorant man or woman ever could. It can destroy your world as easily as any bomb, any politically motivated food shortage, or any limited ideological climate change campaigner. This is the authority you carry within, the authority of what you have been educated to accept without question, the authority of your own education and your own life experiences, the books you have read, the documentaries you have listened to, the experts you have followed, the political leaders you have identified with, and the religions you claim to have found a sense of spirituality within. Thought, knowledge, experience becomes an authority in our lives. We plan our lives on this massive limitation, and if we do so, then our lives will be as lost to true purpose and a quality of life as they ever could be. We are a lost race. We are a race in bondage to our past, in bondage to knowledge. We need free human beings in this world, yet freeing the human mind from its historical and educated complex psychological bondage is likely no small or quick task. And so we jump back one step and we ask another question. Who sees this? Who truly sees this? Without seeing this as an authentic life problem we face individually and collectively, we cannot possibly act. So, who sees this? Do you hold within your heart the spirit of a true pioneer? If you do, then enter this area. Never cease to watch. Never allow one thought to pass your awareness unseen. And watch without control, allowing thought the freedom to move and exist which you seek for your own life. Watching, of course, if entered into, leads to seeing, and in seeing, if we can travel this far, we may come to complete vision. Here we find our completion. Becoming can never offer completion to our lives, for we are all becoming in different directions, and so this inner movement divides us, and in division we come to conflict. Completion is whole, and so holy living is found, living without the conflict of ever aiming to become something more than I am now. Living is found here and now. Completion has arrived, and so this is where a man may come to lay his tired and weary head. So many of us are dog-tired today. What else could we be? Kicked from pillar to post, fed a diet of fear and frustration because another man seeks his glorious, thought-painted future of becoming. This is our regeneration as a race. This is not our great reset. We have had too many of those already, and they have always ended in complete disaster for human beings, and they always will, for the reasons outlined previously. Thought is action, acting in the darkness of a massive ignorance, in fantastical limitation of what has never been experienced, and so what has never been understood, and never will be. For understanding is never a quality of thought. Understanding arises from perception, from seeing, not from thinking. Can you cease to act on your thinking other than where necessary? Can you see the danger of all authority to life, including your own life, and your own blindly accepted authority, wherever it may be, gathered from past recorded experiences? And can you understand your need and responsibility to come to an authentic and holistic understanding of your life for and by yourself? This is the only solid ground for any human being to stand upon. All else is an abominable life lived under unrequested authority. Most importantly, can you come to see that the change this world needs to meet and the change we need in our individual personal lives is one and the same thing? Can you end your past? Can you end this movement of becoming into a conceptual and illusory future? Can you awaken to this moment in complete view of the wonder of this infinite living and dying universe in front of your eyes? No pressure, but on such questions lies the entire future of all of humanity. Who shall answer these questions for you? Who shall answer these questions for you?